Hey there, you're listening to You Still Going On About That with Rob Israel and Joseph K. You can find us anywhere you could download podcasts. You could also find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at YSGOAT. Thanks for listening. I'm Rob Israel.
I'm Joseph K.
You still going about?
That.
All right, Joseph. It is Juneteenth.
Yeah, it is.
It's actually a holiday.
Federal holiday.
I'm glad it's become one.
Yeah.
And good. It's basically a holiday about like June. So it's kind of weird. It's like, I guess after the Civil War happened, they were still like, it took a while to get the word out or people,
Yeah.
whatever. But it was like in Texas or something. There was like a plantation and they got word of it like June 19th of like, I don't know, whatever, the 2 years after the Civil War ended.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I don't know that it was, I didn't know that it was actually that day, but yeah, I thought, I always assumed it was Juneteenth because it was sometime in June,
Yeah.
long after the fact. These people found out in Texas, hey, we've been free for a while. We don't have to,
They're like, hey, did you know that? And the owner's like, or the
Well,
former owner, slave,
right, yeah.
proper term to use, slave master, would be like, what are you talking? Get back to work.
I haven't. Let me check my.
No,
Oh shit! There's this one letter I hadn't opened in like.
no, this
It's
letter I got that says open now.
right.
2
Yeah,
years ago, open.
we haven't. We've been trying to reach you about your extended slave warranties. Um,
It's not
yeah,
funny. Make jokes
it's
about slaves.
no, it is. Um, it's crazy. I mean, I'm a little surprised it's still a holiday given the
I'm surprised Trump has it. I think
yeah.
Trump even knows that. Well, one, he likes to think that he has this like he's the first Republican to get like the most black votes in years as a president, and
Yeah,
he
no,
might be right actually, black male vote like it. But when you say that, it's like it's literally like a half a percentage point.
yeah,
It's not
it's
like
still a
any,
very small
yeah.
number.
But
Yeah.
he likes to think that. So I think if he came out and said something about like Juneteenth, he'd be flying too close to the sun.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I know. I agree that there's a reason he hasn't. Um, it is it is weird. Juneteenth being a holiday is a big deal, and I don't know. It's a weird time in history to talk about any of this because it feels like we've gone back in so many ways. Like there's just this wave of progress, and then we've gone back in a lot of ways. But yeah, it's Juneteenth. It's here's what I think about Juneteenth is when I go on Facebook on Christmas, I see a whole bunch of people talking about Merry Christmas. And when I go on Facebook on Thanksgiving, I see a whole bunch of people saying Happy Thanksgiving. And when I go on Facebook on like St. Patrick's Day, we see a bunch of green
Yeah,
shit and all that. When I go on Facebook on Juneteenth, I get a bunch of people bitching about how they shouldn't close their office or about how the why are the banks closed? We have too many holidays. Why,
yeah.
that's
I've heard people. I used to hear that with back in the day, like, why do we have Jewish holidays off?
yeah, yeah,
In New York, and I'd be like, why were you against that? Especially like the companies we worked at, like the companies we worked at, they were cool enough that yeah, we're closed on these Jewish holidays. We're literally paying you a day off.
yeah.
The so-called cheap Jews. Let me tell you, when I worked at Sun and Chico, they didn't. The owner made okay. So like we were closed on Christmas, which was a paid holiday. Very few
Right.
holidays at this place. I don't care. This guy said something anti-Semitic to me, and he can suck my dick if I
Yeah.
come at me, you fuck. Okay, I'm not kidding. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I
I
remember you
doubt he's
telling me this.
listening. Imagine he's like, I was tuning in for years. I've always cared about Rob.
You've painted me as a villain.
You
You
made
painted
me
me.
out to be such a horrible man. I thought I apologized to you. And yes, I may have fired you and you had a lame excuse to figure it out, and we weaseled our way of getting rid of you and made you sign
that,
paper.
that was not a Nazi salute. That was a
I was just saying hello.
yeah.
Just waving hi.
Mm, well,
Um, no, okay, so like all of a sudden they started having Christmas Eve off. Now I got paid because I was a full timer, right? The way
Yeah.
if you got a managerial position of some sort, you were now a full timer, meaning like you didn't work, you weren't working hourly, but most of the
Yeah.
company was hourly employees. And I remember they were like, "Oh, you can do you." They were closed on December 24th, but it was not a paid holiday,
Wow.
and if you could use your day off. And I was like, even I was like, that's fucking lame.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, the owners of the companies in New York, Syrian Jews, in one of the no, actually, usually a lot of the apparel industry in New York was owned by
Hmm.
Syrian Jews, and you know when the company, they would close for Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah if they fell during the week. That means you got like 4 fucking paid days. They paid
Yeah.
you, and oh, I want to get this day off. It's like, you fucking ungrateful piece. You are off. You're getting paid. Oh,
Yeah.
but the other guy with the Christian holiday, we're the cheap ones, right? Oh, we're the cheap ones, but you guys get away with
Yeah. That's
ripping off.
weird.
It's not weird. It's a tale as old as time.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm just saying
And
it's like a weird, like it's a
it's
weird,
it's it's a form of bigotry and gaslighting that's been going
yeah.
on for centuries. And
Hmm.
it's like I said, it's like, oh, the so-called Jew people. They gave you paid days off on their holidays. Like, you don't have to come to work.
Right. Uh,
You're getting paid. I don't have anything better to do. Well, go start
yeah.
a hobby.
Yeah.
Spend all
Yeah.
day looking up anti-Semitic shit. You're getting paid to do it. There you go. Feel free to do that. What?
Well, yeah, it is. It is. People have gotten real critical of that. I remember when I was a kid going to school in Florida, where I lived in Florida, there wasn't a huge where I lived in New Jersey. There's like a large Hasidic population. I mean, we'd see people, uh, in the garments and whatnot.
Yeah.
But when I moved down to Florida, it was like a very hardly any diversity of any type. It was like white people. Um, but they even then they wouldn't allow teachers to schedule tests on Jewish holidays. They had like a whole set of rules, and then gradually over the years they got rid of those. It didn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Well, it is Juneteenth. We're nearly halfway through the year. We got a big list of things to talk about. Um, we're gonna talk.
I didn't mean to go on that rant before, but
No,
anybody
it's
still watching it, just
yeah.
dropping some truth bombs,
Yeah.
just like Israel and Iran.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
okay. It's just World War III. No big deal.
Yeah, that is on our list. We have
Yes.
that's actually
Okay.
about
Go ahead.
halfway down our list. We're talking about two pop culture things, talking about Murderbot and there's a movie, I guess it's a movie, Predator Killer of Killers,
Yeah, at first I
animated.
thought it was a series, but it's like a. We'll talk about that. Okay.
And then we're going to talk about some news stuff, and that includes Trump's big birthday parade that he was so happy to get. Talking about the No Kings protest. Talking about a series of Democrats being arrested. We're talking about Minnesota lawmakers, both Democrats, being assassinated.
So there
Uh,
was. I know there was a woman. The other one was killed too.
no, well, there were two. Yeah, the way I said that was a
Wasn't it
little.
her husband or something that was
It
killed?
was one politician and her husband was killed,
But wasn't
and
another Democrat
yes,
shot too?
another Democrat was shot, and her partner, I believe, was injured in the attack. Um, Real terrifying stuff.
Yeah, that's fucking scary.
And then we're talking about Israel and Iran.
Wait, I just want to make sure I remember this. Make sure to remember Mike Lee because he did something really disgusting.
Oh yeah,
I can't say
yeah,
it, but just remember it because
yes.
I don't want this
Then we're
forgotten.
talking about Israel, Iran.
Yeah.
And then a weird thing. This is like Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson interview, which would have been awesome hadn't been anyone other than Tucker Carlson. But it was still pretty interesting. And then we're talking about the SCOTUS Supreme Court heard a trans rights case. I guess we can't really call it trans rights anymore. Heard a trans case. And then we're talking Elon Musk's latest rocket failure.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about this thing at the end where this kid at UCLA basically right as he was graduating said like he used Chat GPT to do all his papers or something to that effect. So that's what we got. Um, and I guess we can start with Murderbot. It was a big episode.
Yeah, that was a
Um,
good one. That's the one with the woman again, right?
yeah, well, yes,
It's
this
like
is her.
actually, I'll probably watch it later after we're done. The new episode premieres. So I
Oh,
had a
okay,
very
yeah,
long, busy week, surprisingly,
yes.
and I feel like that episode came out like 10 years ago. So
It does. It's a odd, given when we record, it always feels like there should have been another episode, but the what was that, episode 5 or 6?
I don't know.
I feel like it's been more
It
than a
was something like
few.
that. What is it? Gonna be 8 episodes or something?
I think so. Um, I thought the last episode was great.
Yeah, that was good.
It did all of the things Murderbot does well, um, and consistently well. And it kind of like deepened the mythology. Yeah, last one was episode 6.
What was the
Next,
deal with her though? She was she just some rando that was trying to take over the ship or something, or was she like
the woman, Lee or whatever her name was. Yeah,
Yeah,
her deal, from what I understand, is there's a secret third group on this planet. There was the two groups we know about, the group that we follow, and then the group that they went to go visit that they also knew about.
yeah,
But unbeknownst to either of them, there's this third group on the planet that's been kind of like fucking shit up. They're the saboteurs. They're the ones that fucked with the maps. Maybe they work with the company or the corporation or whoever, you
yeah.
know, but she's part of that group because she was waiting for her friends or companions to come and get her after she got the information about the planet from our group.
Right.
Um, so yeah, and spoiler alert, this is unless something weird happens, this is the last we've seen of her because Murderbot
Oh yeah, I don't
literally
think.
blows her head off at the end of
Yeah,
this episode.
I think she's gone. Yeah, he
Yeah,
like she's holding the guy who has like cyborg implants,
yeah,
caught a hostage, and Murderbot just evaporates her brain. I don't even understand how he did it. It's like
yeah. I
crazy.
think it was like a gun in his hand or in his arm,
Yeah, it
but
just fucking like her head never existed. Just blood stuff.
yeah, he walks in and she begins to take the guy hostage,
Yeah,
and literally before she can get it out of her mouth, like, don't, try anything and
yeah.
I'll kill it, her head's gone.
I think
Like,
the best is when that one woman starts laughing hysterically because she's just like completely crazy.
yeah,
And then the ending was great with him because he's like, now he like wants to kill more.
right. He killed her and everyone reacted very poorly. And he's like, this is, and you could tell he was like confused. He's like, this is so confusing. Usually this is when everyone thanks
Oh,
you.
that was the
Like,
big
it's,
thing. Was this the episode where um he had his memory, he erased stuff in his
yeah.
memory so he could remember like seasons of shows? And I like when the lady's like, it's not that good. The one that's like the captain or whatever her actual title is. And then they're talking about the show. Like they're all talking about it. She's
Yeah.
like really funny. Like I just love that kind of stuff about the show. And I love the show too with the actual like cast members.
Yeah.
I just think it's like fun. The thing
He go,
I have a revelation now about the show.
yeah.
He's Milton from he's Milton from Office Space. He's always
Huh.
thinking in his head like I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him.
Okay.
And
That's
Milton's
funny.
like I want to burn this place down. I'm gonna burn it. And he does
Right.
burn the place down. Like he just kind of like mutters to himself and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and like he's kind of like he's in monologue like where he just wants to like I will kill you. You'd be better dead. Like, but it sounds like kind of funny. It doesn't sound so threatening. It's almost like
Right.
ridiculous. And I'm like, he's basically Milton from Office Space.
That's funny. The funniest part was when they need to fix the ship and he can't fix the ship because he deleted the repair manual. And the captain, like you said, asked him why he deleted the repair manual so he could download a new season of Rebel Moon or whatever he's
Yeah,
watching.
yeah. Right.
Um, yeah.
They won't be
It,
getting more of those movies.
no.
Rebel
um,
Stooge.
It is good. I just looked it up. It's 10 episodes. Next episode, there's four left. Next to one is episode 7.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I don't know. It's been great. I feel like the plot's tightening up, which is good. I feel like they've done enough world building so that like you can you can
Build up the
see,
plot.
yeah, and you can see like maybe a season 2 occurring. I know there's like a bunch of books this is based on.
Knowing how Apple works, we'll probably get a season 2 at least, and then
Yeah,
get to season 3. I feel like most. I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, I know there's probably some shows that don't get renewed, but
they canceled one recently, and everyone was kind of saying how like unusual it is for Apple to cancel something. I forget what it was. It wasn't a great
I
show, but it
canceled
was
my
a
subscription. Hopefully I don't. I get to finish the show before my subscription ends. I don't want to
yeah.
unless I know there's gonna be more stuff. I'm like,
It's really good. It's
I
a
don't give a
fun
shit about that Owen Wilson show with golf. I don't give a fuck about that.
yeah, sticks.
I mean, I would watch it, but I also don't care. I don't care about the golf. So
Yeah, I want the next big ones on Apple that I know of are well, For All Mankind, the new season's got to come out relatively soon.
have you
And
heard anything about that?
no, but I haven't looked,
That
and
one guy from All Mankind, the one who plays kind of like the Elon Musk character, if he was
yeah.
actually had some empathy, um, he is Mr. Terrific in the Superman movie.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna be great. That like, man, that movie. Did you see the new trailer?
Yes.
Dude, that movie. I'm sorry, that movie looks amazing. Like,
It
I
looks
don't even
really,
know
really good.
if the movie's terrible. I would be like, what the fuck did like what went wrong then? Because this and he said like I'm not showing like you're seeing stuff in the trailer, but you're not getting as much as you think. Like he's not
Right.
like I remember when he said like you're only seeing like the first like 20 minutes stuff from the first like 20 minutes or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that looks really good. I guess there's going to be a spin-off of For All Mankind too. Star City's
Yeah,
coming.
you tell me that. Yeah.
Um, anyway, Murderbot's really good.
Yeah, I like it. I don't really know what else to say about it.
Yeah,
It's a good show.
it,
Everybody's great at it. It's just funny. I don't know what to compare it to. Like
yeah,
style
it's
wise.
it's funny you say
Kind of
that because
like Veep a little bit. I don't know.
like which one?
Like Veep, a little bit, like just a
Yeah,
teeny
I can
bit,
see it.
but not a.
I feel like it's weird because like I don't have a ton to say about it other than it's really funny and I like it. Um, I think there's probably like a lot of philosophical stuff there, but they don't really explore it that much,
Yeah.
not yet at least. Um, and it is weird in that way because most of the shows I really like, honestly,
Oh, that
are
part when she pulls that thing out of his spine.
yeah, that was so gross.
I was like, how is he still operating without that? I don't know. He said
Yeah.
it.
Um, most of the shows I like have like some deep, philosophy or mythology or something, and this one's just like a real fun show. Maybe that's why I like it. Maybe it's like I don't have to think a ton. It's very quick. It goes down
What's the
easy.
point of having him have blood, though?
Well, see, I think that's gonna, and I don't know. I haven't read the books. I think they've been very clearly saying like he's part biological,
Well, yeah, they
right?
said that in the factory when they
And
showed.
that he's got a face, and a lot of the characters said I never realized he had a face, and blah
Yeah, well,
blah.
yeah, and the thing is, like when he revealed himself, um, in the first episode, in the end,
Yeah,
when he's having a panic attack.
yeah. And he so my theory, and he has blood, and he has all that. My theory is that he's like there's person in him, and that's going to be the philosophical piece. Is like clearly we know that the human people are humans.
Well, they're like, to me, it's like what they're like replicants of in
Yeah, yeah,
Blade Runner.
kind
Isn't it
of.
Blade Runner like they're robots, right? And they
Yeah,
live
they're completely synthetic, and they've
but
got
they
they're
also have like
a built-in 5-year lifespan and stuff.
no, but don't they
Uh,
have like like their skin is also kind of like organic and
I
like
think so. I think you're right.
I don't
But
know.
I also think
What
it's
did you say they have a 5-year what?
the in the original Blade Runner movie, they only lived for like 5 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had a built-in death date or something.
Oh. Was that
Yeah,
what the
that's
plot was? Like getting rid of it or something? Or
um I don't I don't 100% remember, but I know that's honestly that's why Rutger Hauer died in the end. Nobody killed him or anything. He just his time ran out.
oh,
Like,
really? I don't remember. I honestly need to like rewatch that movie.
oh, it's real good.
Or
It
actually
holds
watch
up
it.
well.
What do you think of the new one that came out?
I loved it. I thought
The
that
Ryan
was
Gosling was a replicant, right? From what I remember, right?
yeah. Yeah.
I liked his hot, uh, his hot holographic girlfriend.
Yeah, she was a doll.
But that
Um,
part in the end when he's like walking and you see the big giant hologram of her, like,
yeah.
and it's her, but like I don't know, it's like weird because you feel like he had this relationship with her, but
Yeah.
like she's just a program.
It's just brilliant. But so
He's a
is he.
robot too, so it's like weird.
Well, in the original Blade Runner, Harrison Ford was a replicant.
Well, there's several versions,
Yeah, okay, true.
and
But
because
he
like
was.
if he was, then he wouldn't have aged to an old man in the second one.
Well, that's a big thing is that they found that the replicants were changing. That was a plot point of the second movie. There was a kid replicant. They were reproducing,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. So there are some parallels here to this. I think it's interesting that the augmented human. I think that's why that character is there because the human people are clearly human. The augmented human is clearly human, but a little different. So if you can say the augmented human is still human, then why can't Murderbot be? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think that's like the link there. That's why that character exists. Is
So it's
that
basically Johnny Five is alive from Short
yeah,
Round.
yeah,
Johnny Five's alive. And like
yeah,
what's his name? Fisher Stevens shows up in Indian face,
right,
brown
yeah.
face,
Oh Jesus,
with an
yeah,
accent. Dude, I didn't even know. Hey, listen, you know what? As fucked up it was. I I didn't even know that was not like that he was painted and that he was.
yeah,
I mean, I have to like go back and rewatch it and see how bad it actually looks. Maybe they did like
yeah,
this incredible makeup job, but I did not because I really thought he was an Indian actor.
yeah. Yeah.
And I saw him in other stuff, and I was like, "You're you were playing an Indian guy.
Yeah. Well,
Great."
yeah. Well, okay, so the other pop culture thing is we both watched this movie made for Hulu. Was it on Hulu? Hulu.
Yeah, this is a Hulu exclusive.
Predator Killer of Killers.
Like a CG animated type thing, and
Yes. Now it was by the same guy who did Prey. Uh
yeah,
the
and
well
you saw the ending, right?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So it takes place in like three different time periods. One's like Viking, another
Yep.
one's like Shogun, I guess, Japan. And
Yeah.
then the second one, third one's like what, World War II or World War One? I don't.
Looks like World War One, World War Two.
And it's you told me that you think they were in cryogenic chambers, but I feel like they're able to like travel through time or something because
That
they
could
were
be.
not in cryogenic chambers when you see them. They just had like these okay, spoilers for everything. The last scene, you see the woman from Prey, and she's in a cryogenic chamber,
Yes.
and I thought that was kind of cool. She's coming back. They said that character is supposed to be in one of the upcoming Predator movies.
Oh,
I don't know if it's the next one, but they said she's going to be in it. Like,
well, this was a great movie. Honestly, it was really, really good. It was, you can definitely see how it was by the same guy who did Prey.
yeah,
The Viking scenes they felt like Viking scenes. It felt like you're watching Beowulf or something. I mean, it was uh, like a well done, like if there were no Predator scenes in it, it would have been a kick-ass little Viking thing. And we're talking about, I would say, it felt like three separate half-hour shows.
it did. I thought it was three separate shows, but then like when they showed the last one with the guy, I was like, okay, there's something tying in, and
Yes.
I don't know. I guess I fell asleep when I watched the first episode, the first part, and I just thought it was a TV show, and then I realized, no, this is a movie, and then it has a conclusion that like
Yeah.
ties them
You,
all together.
now that you're saying this, I see why you think it's time traveling instead of
Yeah, it's like they can it
uh
shows that it looks like they can.
yeah. I don't
It
know.
wouldn't make
I
any sense then. It would. I
when
mean,
I,
unless time moves different for them, because I mean, they. 'Cause when I get extends then. It would. I mean, unless time moves different for them because I mean, they. 'Cause when I get extends then. It would. I mean, I mean, unless time moves different for them because I mean, they they went to significant different periods, like
Yeah.
I don't
And
know,
it was the
thousand
same
years.
group of
They're almost like a
predators. That's the
thousand years apart. Like, the first one's like I don't even know where you would put this, like AD with the
well, the Viking one I would say was like around, I don't know, or like 600 or 700.
okay, and then the Shogun was like what, 1600s maybe, 1500s,
Yeah, maybe
oh.
1700s or so. I mean,
And
like
then you
that
have
was
the other one in the
1900s.
1920s, so
Yeah.
it's like there's like a 300, 400, 500 year
Oh, it
gap,
was like almost, yeah, yeah,
and it's like I like I don't know. I feel like I need to like watch a video where they explain things to you because you're a moron. Not you,
yeah.
but like this is how
I
it
need a
is.
15-year-old to explain this to me on TikTok.
Well, man, and then they don't explain anything, and
Right.
I'm watching this. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was good. The animation was interesting.
Yes.
A little video
Yeah.
gamey, a little bit like kind of a similar vibe to like almost like the Spider-Man cartoon, just like the way things moved a bit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I didn't, I thought it worked well as an animation just because I think it would have been a huge endeavor as a live action thing. I I
she
wouldn't
stayed
have,
behind a fight, the Viking woman.
yes,
Fight
yeah.
she died.
Which is weird because like she didn't seem necessarily like a noble hero to me, like in her segment. She seemed kind of
Well,
like,
I think because she was like in her mind, she was probably just like my family was killed. Like she was seeing in a
yeah,
dream her son, and it was just her. She was alone, so she wanted to join her kid in some like weird,
yeah,
yes, and she killed herself by because like clearly the time that she wakes up is more like the time it clearly was the time that the last guy, like that scene in the end of the movie, like when they're on the planet and they're fighting like
yeah,
the dinosaur, whatever the creatures were. That is basically like the 20s in or
yeah,
30s nights in on Earth. So because I don't know, I just found it interesting. And
yeah.
I guess the other guy joined him. It might have been World War II because he said he knew Japanese. He had to learn Japanese.
That could be.
He had like
Yeah.
something, and he
Oh,
like
yeah.
fucked
It
up
would have been.
science.
His plane too would have been a World War II plane. That wasn't a
Yeah.
World War. Those World War One planes were like,
Oh yeah, they were like the
yeah,
right. They were like a little bit better than the Wright brothers.
right,
And it's
yeah,
kind of crazy when you think about it, like World War I, and you're like, oh yeah, that was like 20 years before World War II. Like
yeah. Wasn't that? Yeah.
it's crazy that they
Uh,
called it World War I, though. You know,
right.
why are we calling this? What's this about? I don't know. People
Right.
love a franchise,
Yeah.
and everybody
Yeah.
knows that World War III just they've been threatening that for decades.
Right.
It's gonna be a piece of shit when it happens. Like a
Yeah.
horror movie sometimes sucks. Doesn't
Well.
live up to the second one. It's like a disappointment. Sometimes the third movie is terrible. In a trilogy. Like
Yeah.
it's all right.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
where all have orange afros and then I think that was a like Dan Aykroyd or something in Spies Like Us talking about like
Oh yeah.
the words like you're gonna have an orange afro and just deciding your house is gonna be melted. I don't even know. It's like really stupid.
Well, this was a good one. I think they made the right decision having it be what it was. I mean, like it could have easily been a 4-part miniseries. It could have been a lot of things, but this was a good one. I could definitely see them doing a sequel to it. I don't think that'd be a terrible thing. Um, I think they've handled the property well recently. And I'm kind of hopeful that the new Alien, because the last one, Alien Romulus, I thought was great. And
I liked it. Hey, was that robot the droid, the black dude? Is that the guy? Was he in Sinners? Is he the?
oh shoot, I don't know. I honestly I wouldn't have thought so,
I
but
was like wondering that because he's been getting more roles. That guy. It's kind
yeah.
of funny. Like when they first introduced him in Alien Romulus, I really thought they were gonna be like, oh, he's autistic or something,
Yes,
and then
yeah.
you realize he's like a droid or
He's like
whatever.
a slowly malfunctioning droid.
What do they call them in that world? Like it's not. They don't even use the term droid. It's like a
I think replicant, no, because like
well, wasn't there like a theory people have been pushing that
there is some
Blade Runner
overlap.
and Aliens are in the same universe?
Yeah, because the Tyrell Corporation is in both, and um, yeah, I think it's like not even a theory. I think there's some established uh overlap between the two.
It's not him. It's a very different person, and I apologize.
Yeah. Huh.
No,
Well,
they said in the new Predator movie, there's a synth. They've already revealed it. It's basically the replicants and aliens.
yeah.
Like she's a robot, the main woman. And then I don't know, did you see the new poster where he's the main Predator guy is like carrying her around, like Chewbacca carries C-3PO
Yeah.
around, like her
Yeah.
bottom torso is ripped down. She's holding like a gun.
Yeah.
And they reveal that she's a synth, and everyone says this is like either aliens are in this movie or they're setting up an aliens versus Predator, an actual good aliens versus Predator movie.
Well, there is that Alien TV show that's coming out that looks really good.
That looks incredible.
Yeah,
I was shocked. I didn't think it would look that good. It's supposed to
I
be on
didn't
Earth,
either.
right? Yeah.
It comes out soon. It looks real great. It is like a cool plot. I mean, like everything about it looks okay. I'm hoping it's good. I mean,
It's supposed to take place before Alien 1 though, right?
I believe, geez, I've screwed this up so many times. I believe it takes place right before Alien 1, but that is a little difficult to track because, well, no, I guess it's not because this would make sense because uh, if the corporation, what is this called? Not Tyrell. If the corporation maybe they found out about the aliens before, so when the Nostromo maybe they knew about the aliens already, which would track sort of. Um, yeah, I don't know. But it looks really good. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Um, yeah, I don't know. The Alien franchise. Okay, so the latest one is
Well, Romulus was the last one.
yeah, Romulus was the last one. I'm just trying to see because they don't really have the TV show. Oh yeah, Alien Earth is the name of it, and
I remember the
film.
trail. Didn't they say like they brought back 5 different creatures or something, or 5 different species?
Yeah. All right, it's set 2 years before the events of Alien.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Well, that would make sense because my guess is that here we're going to see the story of how the company first finds out about aliens. So
Yeah.
when the Nostromo found that distress signal, the company was like, "Oh, I'll bet you it's aliens. We want one to study or whatever." Because
Yeah.
that was always the backdrop is that the
But if it's
company's
on
been
Earth already, I don't know. We'll
yeah,
figure it out.
whatever. Yeah. All right. So
Wait and see. All right.
speaking
Speaking
of
of fiction,
yeah, speaking of horrible monsters on Earth, Trump had a parade.
I didn't watch it. I saw a clip of a tank going across with the squeaky wheels and like
Yeah,
no,
that was so
that
funny.
shit was like fucking funny, man. That's like the Daily Show there, like that moment of Zen, I think was it,
Yeah.
and that would
I
be the image.
I saw that and I saw a bunch of pictures of Trump looking all sad.
Yeah, it said like when no one shows up to your birthday party,
Right.
except for the people you paid for them to be there.
Yeah.
Dude, what a pathetic! Like it was so pathetic, and
Yeah.
there was like nobody there, and it was like a wait. I think it cost like 20 to $40 million to do this dumb
Yeah.
thing. And the joke too is they were like, "Do not ride tanks in the streets of DC.
Yeah.
Tanks are going to destroy the
Right.
street. So anything that's going to cost taxpayers even more money for Trump's pathetic parade." And then, but there was a lot of interest in Trump that weekend though. It wasn't
Yeah.
a favor of Trump. There was a thing called No Kings Protest,
Yeah.
and it was like the biggest protest ever. They said.
Yeah. They said like 8% of the population showed up to the protest. It was like a really big one. Um, and
I
it
I really don't think he won. I feel like there's more things coming out about it, and I think this election was stolen. Oh, that was it. Okay, so I watched this one woman talk about it. I used to say that like
yeah.
ballots coming back that just
I
had Trump on it. It was
I
the other
saw
way
this one.
around,
Yeah.
where I think I sent it to you, where she says there were a ton of ballots in these locations. I don't remember the exact locations, but she said that basically the second to bottom down was all filled out. The president was not. It was like either erased. Who the fuck knows?
Well,
They
there's
said
another
it makes
one
no sense.
where
How does a
there is
Democratic senator win a blue state and then a bunch of Democrats win, but Trump wins this. That doesn't make any sense.
There's a bunch of videos I saw about a county in New York where Harris got 0 votes. And it's in court right now. And people are saying that statistically it's just not possible that she didn't get any votes. She got
She
no
didn't get any
votes.
votes.
Any
Yeah, that
votes.
doesn't. That yeah,
It
that's
was
complete bullshit. Like that doesn't make any
Rockaway, New
sense.
York. Is that a county?
Rockaway's a town. My grandma lived there. It's like
Rockaway, New York.
yeah,
Um,
like in Queens.
yeah, and it's a place where she got no votes. And even if she, yeah, I don't know. I do agree with you. I think that there's something shady here. And we may find out about it. I don't know, we may not. Sadly, there's not like a remedy for this. But anyway, yeah, so the No Kings protest, there's actually a lot of them here. Dallas had a huge No Kings protest, like a legit big one. Flower Mound had a pretty big one. They
Yeah,
were
I heard
everywhere.
that. I heard areas that you think wouldn't be big, and they had massive protests. I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand how this fucking guy won. It makes no fucking sense. Oh, he
Well,
went on Rogan. Not, no, 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 no.
I've seen enough to suggest that it certainly was competitive. I know a lot of people. I don't know them, I'm not like friends with them, but like on those community face, I see plenty of people say they voted for Trump, and I know they're real people, and
Fucking,
I know
oh no, I believe in the area that I used to live where you live.
yeah,
Oh, I believe that wholeheartly. You're in Texas. I'm
yeah,
talking about just it just doesn't add up. That's all. It doesn't add up. It's like
yeah,
doesn't make any sense. Like Arizona, why would Arizona go to him? It makes no sense.
mm.
Um, like didn't
Yeah.
Arizona go to
Like,
Clinton? I mean, what?
well,
Okay,
it is weird that like Arizona elected the like Democrats everywhere except for president.
yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, that is weird. You know. Uh,
I,
wow.
I don't know. I just think like all the people protesting and like he's such a fucking disaster. I love everything's always like pushed back. I mean, we're gonna talk about this in a second, the Iran thing, but like he even talked about that. He's like 2 weeks. Like it's always 2 weeks. Everything's
That
2 weeks.
was fucking, yeah, infrastructure week.
Same thing with TikTok again. He's like extending it like another 90 days. It's like
Yeah.
stop it already. Like who gives a shit?
Yeah, he doesn't know what to do with that. All right. But with the new guy, let me just wrap up the No Kings thing.
Yeah,
They were really successful and really
yeah,
big. And
good.
um it's a big deal, you know, and I think it's going to become a bigger deal because I think more and more shitty things are happening. The economy's getting worse and worse. Um, he kind of labeled himself as like this no war president, you know.
I mean, look at
Um,
it. I mean, which was complete bullshit. The man
it
dropped a
was,
massive
yeah.
like when he like his first month in presidency. God, I remember that one guy. He was such a jackass. Vance? No, what's his name? Like a black dude. He's on CNN a lot.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I
He
saw
was
him
like a
tonight.
Biden
He was
impression
talking.
for like a minute, and I don't know. He's like, I remember he's like, "Don't. This is where Donald Trump was presidential." I'm like, shut the fuck
Yeah,
up. What the fuck are you talking about? This was the
yeah,
day.
he was talking on CNN tonight. And he's usually real conservative, but talking about how
Van Jones?
awful Van Jones.
No, I don't think it's Van Jones that you're talking about.
No, he's like
I
a
was talking.
conservative Democrat, isn't he? Am I thinking of the right
I
guy?
don't know. Who the fuck knows what he is?
Yeah.
I don't think that's him. But go ahead.
Anyway, I saw a couple things on CNN where even most conservative people are just they're done. You know, like whereas they used to say things like he was acting presidential, they're just done with him. Um, I don't know. I don't know that in one way the No Kings protest didn't do anything, but
Well, I mean, it. I think what it did was it's showing the Republicans that like you're gonna lose the midterms, dude, or you're gonna at least lose the House. Who the fuck knows though? Because
that's the thing.
we
Yeah.
live in the worst timeline. It doesn't make any sense. Some of these elections, like I don't get
Well,
it. Like people are dumb, man. It's like, how did he win? It makes no sense.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I know that.
What did he run on? What did he run on? It's not like he ran on anything. He's like, I'm gonna get revenge. Oh, cool. I'm gonna vote for this guy.
Well,
He's like, it was all like personal grievances.
yeah.
I guess that worked on morons. They said that people lost a lot of IQ points because of COVID, so it's possible that
Yeah.
their thinking skills aren't very good.
Well, we talked too about well, we're going to talk at the end about AI. I mean, like
Yeah, yeah,
the country is getting dumber. Like not just the country, like the world is getting
yeah.
dumber.
It's gonna get dumber.
Um, well, in the background of all this happening, I read this article the other day in the New York Times. It was one day ago, and the headline is this: it says images of handcuffed Democrats are piling up in Trump's immigration crackdown.
Yeah,
And it's true.
it was. He was a senator of California, right?
Yeah,
He
and
got a
he's
couple
kind of
months
a
ago.
mild-mannered guy. Alex Padilla, I think he was. He's not like a rabble rouser. He's just kind
Yeah,
of like, and he was there, and he just wanted to ask questions, and he got thrown to the ground and handcuffed. And then the comptroller, Brad Lander of New York, the other day was handcuffed and arrested just simply for asking questions like, "Who are you?"
yeah,
Um, I there was a time not that long ago where if I told a Republican that masked federal agents who refused to show a warrant or identify themselves were just storming buildings and taking people into custody, they would have flipped their shit. That would have been a huge deal to them. That would have been a big deal, like masked federal agents taking people without warrants. That would have been. This is why we have the Second Amendment. And today they're like licking the boot even harder. They can't get enough of that shit. So I don't know. But that is happening. A lot of Democratic politicians have been arrested. Trump has arrested Democratic judges, democratically appointed judges,
yeah,
arrested them. It's real. I'm starting to see a lot more articles now, not in the mainstream media, but in kind of like the alternative press that are saying like it's not responsible to talk about a slide into fascism. We're here. It's here.
it is. I mean, the only thing that hasn't fully happened is just straight up Nazi shit. I will say though, I feel like it's here, but it doesn't. They don't give a fuck what the populace thinks. Like, because I mean, if it
Well,
was fully here, this parade in New York and DC would have just been jam packed, and like everybody would be there for dear leader. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if people like him or not. This is just
yeah,
going to keep happening. Like it doesn't need to be a Nazi movement for these things to go through. Like no one clearly don't give a fuck what the will of the people think. The media
right.
barely reported on it. Supposedly from what I heard, I don't watch these networks. I haven't watched them in a very long time. Like
I
CNN.
started watching CNN the last week, ever since the Iran
Did
Israel
they even
stuff started.
cover the fucking No Kings protest?
They did. Now, let me back this up and say that I have looked at mainstream media, and by that I mean like CNN, um, for about a week. And I started because I wanted to see footage of the Iraq Iran. I
Yeah,
couldn't tell
yeah.
if the stuff I was seeing on TikTok was
Iran Israel.
real or
Yeah.
fake or whatever. So I wanted to see stuff that was like at least vetted by CNN or whatever.
By a real
Um,
propagandist versus just
yeah,
some
well,
dumbass on
at
TikTok.
least I think they wouldn't show AI. I think for stuff
Yeah.
like this they'd be pretty straight.
Yeah.
So they covered the No Kings protest for sure. They covered Trump's little birthday parade, sure. Um,
Yeah, but do they try to tone down like how much the No Kings
no, but you know what?
protest
Here's what they did. They said no one showed up at the Trump parade, and they kind of made fun of it a little, but all of them were talking about how like, well, the military is still apolitical and blah blah, and we should be proud of the military. And I don't know. I mean, I don't agree with that. I think that the military has been co-opted and is a pretty political thing. If you have Marines stationed in Los Angeles, I, the debate's
that was
over in my
ridiculous. All that was so
yeah.
ridiculous too. This fucking thing in Los Angeles, and it's like I forgot what they said. Oh, they said if you listen to I don't know if it was Daily Show or someone played a clip.
Yeah.
It shows like with the Trump Bush administration how they would talk about Iraq.
Yeah.
If you listen to the Republicans in the current Trump administration, they're talking about the verbiage they used to describe Iraq is literally
Yeah,
the same verbiage they use for LA.
I saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
That's insane.
Um,
Well, they
I-
said everybody says that the Nazi Party invaded like Poland first, and they're like, no, that's not what
yeah,
happened. They invaded
right.
Germany first.
Yeah. And the double standard here is crazy because if a Democratic if President Obama had taken control of the state's National Guard to protect abortion clinics or
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
you would have seen a pants shitting riot like no other. It would
Yeah.
make
Or
January 6th look crazy. I mean, like they it would be a big deal. So the sad thing, here's the scary thing for me for like when we're talking about a descent into fascism. Um, I want the next Democratic president to do shit like this,
I
you
know,
know,
I just don't
but it's
expect.
wrong, you know, but
Well, it
like
doesn't matter. Don't even expect. It's not going to happen. It doesn't matter.
I
These
know.
people.
I'm just saying there's a part
I
of
don't
me
want to be
that's like,
president for everybody. Oh, you mean
mm,
like the people that fucking despise
right.
you,
Mm.
wish you dead? Yeah, okay, buddy.
Well, we might get a different. I mean, and I think that would be a shame in a way because, like, even though the presidents who reach across the aisle, even though that drives me nuts, that is the right thing to do. I mean, like that is what you're supposed to do. But
Right.
um, but I don't want that anymore.
But
I
I
don't
feel
want
like
that.
when a Democrat does that now, it's to stifle progress. Oh,
Right.
we're both sides. Do we? You have the
Yeah.
House and the Senate. Do it.
I
You
mean,
don't
I
you have a
want I
Senate that
want
owned by
the
corporations.
next Democratic president to be like arresting Republican judges. You know, what I mean, like that's like clearly like a bullshit thing to want, but like that's kind of where my head's at. You know,
Yeah.
so um,
So
I don't know.
speaking of Democrats arrested, I know
Yeah.
we're water, but like, I mean, again, that's how's that not good? I mean, how's that good? It's not. It's
Yeah.
awful.
It's
Not a good
and
sign.
it honestly it started not with arrests, but in Florida, DeSantis just a county would elect a Democrat and DeSantis would just say, no, you're not elected anymore. I'm
Fuck
replacing
that
you.
guy.
I
DeSantis is
mean,
an
it was
absolute pig dog. Fuck that guy.
yeah. I mean, it's
Meatball Ron.
yeah. Well, anyway, so
High boots Ron.
when they're not getting arrested, they have prompted MAGA supporters to go kill Democratic politicians. And that 100% happened in Minnesota, where a evangelical Christian gunman who's a huge Trump supporter started killing Democratic politicians in Minnesota. Just he had a huge hit list. He was gonna kill a whole bunch. He killed one and her partner, her husband, and he killed or tried to kill a former state rep and her husband. I mean, it was straight up terrorism, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and there's gonna be more of it. You know, there's gonna be more of it. There's
That's
absolutely gonna be
scary.
more
I
of
don't
it.
even like did the guy get caught?
Yeah, they caught him,
Is he dead or is he
and
alive?
he
He
was
had like
white,
a
so
weird
the
one of those weird masks too. Was he dressed as a cop?
he was dressed as the character who doesn't even want to be here anymore from season one
He
of I
was
think it's
not wearing that mask. No. No,
he
it was
looked
like a
exact.
bald. I know, no. I don't even want to be here anymore.
No, he had it was like a realistic looking mask, like a latex or whatever mask. Um, yeah, so there's that. Um, I don't know. And he got arrested. They did catch him. It's weird. The federal government charged him, um, but the state charged him too. And I think that's real smart. They said that it's real normal. The state charges you because it's easier to file charges and you get held.
Yeah.
But my guess is that the state doesn't trust the Trump DOJ to prosecute
I
him.
think you told me that. That's insane that they would even. Oh, God, what a fucked up world we're living in now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Democrats need to fucking speak out more. Like, I mean, maybe
Yep.
I'm not paying attention or something. I don't know, but like that shit should just fuck, man. It's like these guys, man, they really are goading us into like a civil war type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when it gets to the point where it's just like, okay, you know what? Clearly, civilians, our lives are all under threat now because of these psychopaths. So yeah, all right, let's go start another civil war. This is what you wanted. So
Yeah.
why would you do
Well,
that? Because you were wanting that for like a century. Like,
yeah. I
Is
don't
it
know.
northern aggression all over again? No, it's not. It's you guys, 100% you guys.
Well, it is, and I
We're
know
just
we've,
reacting to your bullshit that you
yeah,
react.
well, I don't know. It's just real scary times, you know. Um, and then on top of it, you have kind of in the background this specter of World War III with Israel and Iran.
So who
Uh,
shot first? Was it Han Solo or Greedo?
it was Israel solo.
Hey,
Yeah,
you tell Jabba. I love that as a kid. Sorry, I know we're supposed to
yeah,
hold, but as a kid, I was just like, they're speaking two totally different fucking languages. This is why
right, yeah,
there's a
yeah.
lot of they're not getting along, you know? Like Greedo thought that Han said something about his mom, and Han thought Greedo said something about his mom, and they're both
Yeah,
named Martha.
yeah. Well,
Martha! What did you say?
Israel
Dave.
shot
Sorry. All right, go ahead.
Israel shot first. They took out, from what I understand, they took out a bunch of Iran's defenses and killed a bunch of its generals and bombed one of its weapons plants
Yeah,
or
that's not
whatever.
good. Why did they do it? For shits and giggles?
Preemptively, they said we don't like the way you're looking at us. Honestly, I mean, like that's in a nutshell. That was it. Um, and
You know,
they
and
used
Iran fired back, right?
Iran fired a bunch of missiles back. And I guess like I even like Googled this afterwards because I always thought Iran was like I thought Iran was a big deal. I thought like Iran.
I mean, Iran is definitely a bigger deal than any like like I said, I think I talked to you about this. I don't know. I knew a guy when I worked at NBC, the stupid temp job I had.
Yeah,
There was this guy who talked to me. Who knows? He could have been full of shit, but his brother worked in like war planning or something in the government, like basically like how wide the roads need to be for the tank,
right.
you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he said this was around the time where it was like 2004. Yeah, I worked there during the election. And all that time, the Republicans were still trying to push for a war with Iran while Iraq was falling to pieces and
I
something
remember
going
this.
on.
Yeah.
And he said to me that Iraq was not a real
Right.
country. Like Saddam Hussein, and the fucked up thing is once he was removed, you figured out like, oh yeah, this guy he's been holding together this country actually. There's like these
Yeah.
different factions and they fucking hate each other for like centuries. But
Yeah.
Iran is an actual real country. And he said that I would say it changed because the way war is done is different. But he said that like on the literally right out the gate, like 25,000 American soldiers would die going against Iran.
Yeah. I always thought that about Iran. I even Googled it and like, most powerful militaries. And Iran and Israel were real comparable, and Israel's like a big legit military. I think like it's a little weird because like I don't know why I thought like Iran was like fifth or sixth, but like they're not. It's like the US and Russia and China and then like England and Spain and
But I'm talking
Germany
about
and there's
military wise, Iran is not just going to be some pushover. It's going to be a
no,
real
it's not.
war, and
It's
it's
got
going to be different.
thousands of missiles and stuff.
So
And
Trump is trying to delay it, 2 weeks or something. So they're not you. Okay, you brought up something interesting. So
hmm,
and we'll just dance around this. So like
yeah,
Ted Cruz was interviewing. No,
yeah, yeah,
Carlson was interviewing Ted Cruz, and
yes,
kind of reaming him and like you if you're going to invade something, shouldn't you know something about it? You want to start a war. And you made a joke though and said that Tucker like because people like praising him for like defending like the whole like
yeah.
be against the war, right? But you said something like he's actually helping Russia because I guess Russia's like big ally is Iran.
Yes, Russia is one of Iran's biggest allies. They're like one of their only allies. And that's I did say that I was like Tucker likes Republicans just fine, but he really likes Russians. Like he like and if there's a battle of like loyalties, Tucker Carlson's going to choose the Russians over the Republicans any day of the week. He just is. Remember when he visited there and was like, you can't buy bread in America. This is bread, like over in
Yeah,
Russia.
that was fucking weird and pathetic. And then
Yeah,
he was interviewing Putin, but it really was just like a propaganda thing. And
right.
Putin was just treating him like shit.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like negging him the entire time. Yeah,
Well, I'll tell you if you
I
didn't,
think this is disingenuous on Tucker's part. Sorry,
I do
just
too.
you
But
know,
I think
he knows where his fucking butter gets bread or whatever.
Who knows? Yeah, he knows. He knows who ladles the borscht. I'll say that. I will say this. I don't think Ted Cruz was in on the joke. I think Ted Cruz was fucking ambushed. I think Ted Cruz looked like a moron, and Tucker Carlson ate his lunch.
Well, everybody hates Ted Cruz, so that's
Yeah,
fine.
I don't like. But if I didn't know anything about Tucker Carlson, if I had never heard of him, I would have.
You'd be applauding him right now.
I would 100%.
Yeah,
I would have been like doing that.
Shit out of Ted Cruz.
Yeah,
that's the funny thing about Ted Cruz. Like, if you like fucked up and you want to trick it back in people's good graces, attack Ted Cruz, and then you'll get right back in people.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whatever horrible thing you did before. Just
if James Gumb had kidnapped Ted Cruz and put him down in the from Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill. If he had kidnapped Ted Cruz, Clarice and Dr. Lecter would have just laughed about it and been like,
you know what? Yeah, this guy ain't too bad, actually.
This is a crime they say is best left unsolved.
Yeah, some people some people call him serial killers. I call him a hero.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you're right. The whole video is worth watching. I saw clips at first, and then I watched more and more. Tucker Carlson.
Well, he's just basically saying, like, you don't know anything about the country. You want to,
Yeah, he's like, what's the population of Iran? Ted Cruz is like, I don't know.
Ted Cruz posted this, like, stupid AI comic where it's, like, Tucker Carlson interviewing, like, Luke Skywalker for blowing up the Death Star or whatever. And I'm like, we want to use AI, so go fuck yourself, Ted Cruz. And two, it's so stupid. You know, it's like one of those, like, I'm laughing, but they're, like, crying on the inside.
Yeah. Well, I will say Democrats could learn something from Tucker Carlson. I hate Tucker Carlson. He's disingenuous. He's a liar. He's a shitty person. I even post, like, a lot of people were commenting nice things about Tucker Carlson. And I remember commenting on a few videos like, look, the enemy of my enemy is still my fucking enemy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, they're both ass. I'm not like.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit, dude. He'll reveal his color soon. Don't worry.
However, Tucker Carlson has been around for a while, and he's
not on Fox anymore, so he's not restrained by their editorial.
He's good at what he does. He's not talentless. Like, I look at like Charlie Kirk and I look at Ben Shapiro. I don't think they're very talented.
Yeah.
But I think Tucker Carlson's very talented, and Democrats could stand, or people left-leaning broadcasters would do well to look at Tucker Carlson. And that's the attitude. But
I don't think that would work in well, I mean, if you're talking about like interviews and stuff, it's like I probably thought that he was going on a friendly.
Yeah.
I thought he was probably going, oh, it's Tucker Carlson. Yeah, he could interview me. I'll just And then he probably was like, he probably felt ambushed. He was probably like, what?
Well,
I thought I was going on to get my dick sucked by Tucker Carlson instead.
But Ted Cruz is not an idiot either. He's a smart guy. Once Ted Cruz realized what was happening, he still couldn't fight it. Like Tucker Carlson, I remember that scene in There Will Be Blood where the one guy drinks the other guy's milkshake. He's like, I drink
I drank your milkshake.
Yes, that was the interview. Like Tucker Carlson drank Ted Cruz's milkshake.
That sounds disgusting.
And Ted Cruz couldn't do anything about it.
Diarrhea. Tucker Cruz, you gotta have my milkshake. No, Ted, I'm not gonna drink your bag of diarrhea. I call it my Rocky Road special.
Anyway, it's a fascinating video. Like I said, it is like when you see Jason versus Freddy, they're still both villains. You know,
when you watch the movie, Jason was viewed as a victim more, and he was kind of like the hero in some weird fucked up way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I would say
Freddy was just a straight up murderer. So I always find that funny about Freddy Krueger is that like his past life, where he's burnt and killed, and turned into a demon, is to like murder little children and maybe even like be gross with.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they turned him into like horror Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey kids, don't you love this? Hey, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Fuck your skull, just like I did before I got burnt
with the small children.
Those jerks on Elm Street. I always love the plot. Like, oh, he's getting revenge on the kids of the parents that killed.
Right?
Like, yeah, dude, you deserved it, you fucking sick bastard. But I don't know where I'm going with this. That doesn't even
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
Oh, there was some. Okay, good.
No.
All right, yeah. So again, yeah, okay, fine. Where they say like a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yes.
But I think you nailed it too, in that like, and someone even I saw someone post this on Threads or Blue Sky, and basically said that when you watch this interview between these two people, that you need to understand that one represents Russia and the other one represents Israel, and neither
Yeah.
one of them actually represent the United States.
Right. Yes. They're
But
still
I
both
would
assholes.
but I would also say that, again, I think people need to understand that US and the United States are like this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people need to like, I just think like they want to like attack Israel, and rightfully so, but they also want to like remove like that they'll say something like, grossly anti-Semitic, like Israel's the puppet master of the United States.
Yeah.
No,
That's,
motherfuckers, it's the other way around.
yeah. Yeah.
If they want,
Well,
let me tell you, if Biden didn't want Israel slaughtering all those Palestinians, he would have stopped it.
yeah. Yes.
He would
Yeah.
have stopped it. He'd just be like, "Hey, Jack, you're not getting any ice cream from me anymore."
Dog eared
Oh,
pony soldier.
yeah,
Um,
fucking pop, corn pop over there, fucking
yeah. Yeah. Well, all right.
Jack.
So, there was some, okay, so we got a few more things here. We got the Supreme Court case on trans rights. This is like, from what I understand, what people are saying is it was kind of a self-inflicted wound. I remember when gay marriage was a thing,
Yeah,
the some lawyers took this to the Supreme Court to fight for the right for gay marriage, and they won. And at the time, a lot of people were saying, "Don't do this." The momentum had been good. A bunch of states had legalized gay marriage, but it wasn't yet national. And a lot of people are saying, look, if you go to the Supreme Court and they say no, then you're fucked. And they didn't care. They said, we're going to do it. And they won. And that's how we got gay marriage throughout the entire country. It was a big deal. It was a great win. And the trans rights people tried that same strategy here. There's some states that have protected the right for people to transition, and then there are other states that blocked it. And so the plaintiffs went to the Supreme Court and said, you got to decide. And the Supreme Court this time decided no. And so they fucked themselves. I mean, I'm not saying that they were wrong, but strategically now they're fucked because now any state can legally deny transition care.
well, I mean, isn't that what they wanted?
What?
To deny transition care? Isn't that the whole point of it?
But Tennessee did, but Tennessee didn't. Tennessee wasn't the one who demanded a hearing. It was the trans rights people demanded a hearing with the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
They took it to the Supreme Court.
right.
And a lot of people are saying now that this makes it so that the right to transition is questionable everywhere.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
know it's awful. I mean, and it's a bullshit against one of those guys of like, oh, we don't want kids transitioning.
Yeah.
Like, shut the
Well,
fuck up.
yeah, there aren't. Yeah, I mean, like they, and we've talked about this a bunch on the show. Like they abstract it so that all of a sudden they get you arguing about stuff that doesn't happen. Like if you said, "Oh, now parents are demanding that their male children be, castrated at birth or whatever. Don't That's wrong, don't you think?" But it's not happening. And all of a sudden you find yourself arguing about imaginary shit that like isn't happening.
Yeah.
Um, so it's real sad. I know I read an article about the parents of the kid that was part of the lawsuit, and they're going to leave Tennessee, obviously, and they're just sort of shattered. I mean, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. The Republican Party's really done a number on the trans community.
Well, again, I've talked about this before in the past. I said that, like, they lost the battle on, or the war, or whatever, on gay marriage.
Yeah,
Like, well, we gotta hate people, and these people are getting accepted. People are starting to realize, like, oh yeah, like, I want my son or daughter or my brother or to be happy, my parent,
Yeah,
and it's like, and it just wasn't working anymore. But then Republicans are like, it's weird. These people claim they're this sex are coming into your bathroom, and it's like that's a thing that's not happening.
yeah, and yeah, I mean, it is like it's an imaginary problem, and I think you're right. I think most people, if you ask them, like if your
I'm like,
cousin,
why do you have an opinion on it? You don't even know
yeah,
anything about it. Like, it's like everyone feels like they have to have an opinion on like trans people, and it's like, dude, you don't even. The only reason why you even know this exists because you watch too much crap. That
yeah,
like even the whole sports thing. That was so bullshit. That was such an elevated false story. Like all of a sudden,
yeah,
men are
there's like
interested in
six
women.
trans athletes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all of a sudden, men are just so interested in female sports. Like a good example of why it's so bullshit too is like, and again, it's that fucking horrible woman who was like a skip swimmer. What's her name? Is it Riley? Something?
Riley Gaines.
Is it Riley Gaines, the one that got killed that they keep
No,
showing?
that's Lakin
Oh, Lincoln
Riley.
Riley. Okay.
Wow, yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Are they?
Yeah, Riley Gaines is a joke is that she tried to raise this bullshit. She came in fifth, and it's like, yeah, you the person you're attacking did not get in first place.
Yeah,
They got like I think it was like literally
third or
ahead
something, or
of
yeah,
them. I think it was ahead of Riley Gaines, and that's how you know the whole thing was bullshit because it's like you're creating something that doesn't exist,
right.
like or it's not really an issue, and you so suck as a swimmer. Oh, okay, the trans woman that you said could easily beat everybody. When they win, when she win,
Yeah,
she should be
right.
the one first place. She didn't win first place. So clearly, and I've heard it's interesting. I've heard like people trans, like especially in sports, like there's a UFC fighter that transitioned
Yeah,
and
yeah,
became a female. And she said, I go against women that have more testosterone than I do right now.
yeah. It is weird. The whole thing's bizarre. It's funny. I thought this is it's kind of a stupid aside, but I thought one of the most interesting and kind of cool things about the Starship Troopers movie was how all of that had just like the men and the women used the same restroom.
Yep.
They changed in the same locker room.
Well, they just because
They
they want boobies on screen,
they
maybe.
played on the same sports teams.
Yeah, yeah.
That little
Well,
fake,
the military was like just completely degenerate.
yeah, degenders. It was just
Yeah.
like yes, there are biological differences or whatever, but like none of that mattered anymore. I thought that was like a interesting piece
So
of
what?
world building.
It's a fascist world, but that they're in. But hey, progress, right?
Well, anyway, so you know what's
No, I
not?
mean that is an interesting point. But again, I think I just think the argument that the right has for for trans people is disingenuous. I think um, it's just bullshit,
It's
and
bullshit.
yeah, it's just bullshit. They
I
just
saw Paul Stanley today, the lead singer of Kiss.
yeah, I know that.
Um,
Paul Stanley. Okay, I was thinking Gene Simmons. Yeah, okay,
yeah, Paul Stanley's the star child one.
yeah,
Gene
yeah,
Stan. So this woman, I see her on TikTok a lot. I don't know, man. She's got to drive Paul Stanley nuts. She always catches him going into like a Ralph's or a Safeway or something, and
yeah,
Paul Stanley's like literally just like trying to go buy like fucking beefaroni or something,
yeah.
and she always like ambushes him, and she's clearly a huge fan. She seems a little insane, but Paul Stanley's is always pretty nice to her. Like a lot of times he's like, not today, like not today, Julia. I'm just gonna
I
but
think
today
yeah,
she asked him if he had any
a shooting star that needs to go in the toilet.
statement on Pride Day or something. It must have
He's
been a
probably
couple
like, I'm
times.
not walking in that fucking trap again.
He did though. He said,
He's
I'm
yeah.
real glad to celebrate Pride Week, blah blah. And then what was it, Pride Day or Pride Month?
It's Pride Month. I mean, I
Anyway,
think
so
each city has like a different, the big New York
yeah,
City. I don't even know if that happened yet. I think
and
it might have already happened. I think it's usually like the middle of the month, but
so then she goes, "Would you have anything to say to the trans community?" And he said, because I know he got in a little trouble for this or like recently.
he did say something, but then he
He
apologized.
backed up. Yeah, he said
Yeah,
he didn't understand it, and I took him at his word. And then this time he said, it was real cool because it was like clearly this is like an amateur interviewer, and he was clearly ambushed. He's like just wearing regular clothes. He's like shopping. And he said, like right off the top of his head, he's like, look, life's too short to be anything other than who you are. You
Yeah.
just got to be you, and you should be happy to be you. And I'm like paraphrasing, but it was like real genuine. It was like, that's like how I think a lot of people feel, if you really push them to shove. So anyway,
Yeah.
if it's good enough for the Star Child, it's good enough for me. That's what I say. All right, so you know what's not good enough is Elon Musk's rocket building skills because
What
he
is
had
this, like
another
the 23rd rocket to explode or something? It's like
huge,
a high number.
fucking big one too.
That explosion was fucking, that
It
explosion was dangerous looking.
yeah, it
That
was
looked like, that looked bad.
it
Like
did. It
nearly.
never even got off the launch pad. It just was
What?
sitting there. It never even got off the launch pad. It was just sitting there that fucking exploded everywhere.
Some, some nitwit. I remember there was someone posted a video on some nitwit's like, well, it's a good thing he only uses his money to do this or
Yeah,
something. And
right.
I just wrote like, what did I write? I wrote something like, I love how people think that Elon Musk's SpaceX rocket launch failures don't cost the American taxpayers any money. It's a special kind of stupid that explains how people like Donald Trump can win elections.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you
Um,
believe, like, I remember again, this goes back to like a debate between Dick Cheney. No, it was Dick. Yeah, it was Dick Cheney and that guy Droopy Dog. Droopy Dog.
John
No, what?
John Edwards,
No, it was the first. It was 2001, 2000 with Al Gore, and he picked that.
oh, Joe Lieberman.
Yeah, that guy sucked.
Yeah,
And during the debate or something, Joe Lieberman got like just I don't know, he sucked.
yeah,
And like Shaney got away with this in murder. He just said, like, I could assure you the government, because they said, oh, you're the CEO of Halliburton. He's like, I could assure you that the government had nothing to do with it. And it's like, are you fucking
yeah,
kidding? You only exist because you squelch off the government. What the
yeah.
fuck does Halliburton do outside of like government projects?
Right. I've literally never
Do government
bought.
projects
Yeah,
for other countries? Like,
it's just yeah.
so it was like, and
Um,
it didn't get checked at the time. I remember, I think maybe
mm,
Al Franken talked about it or something. Okay, so like again, anyone that thinks that this is not going to cost American taxpayers
it's a
money or
lot. Yeah.
you are dumb, dumb, dumb. I don't get it at this point. I'm just, I mean, I get it because Trump's president and he's not going to let
Yeah,
go
yeah,
of Elon, but like, I just think it's like, I don't know, man. Did this shit happen during like NASA? Maybe we should
no,
fund some more again
yeah.
instead of getting like interns controlling rockets.
Uh,
I'm gonna go play a video game now. All right, bye.
all right. Well, here is our last thing, and I had not seen this at all until you pointed it out.
Yeah.
A a guy who was just about to graduate from UCLA, University of California at Los Angeles, was bragging right before walking that he did all of his final projects via AI. He basically like cheated through his last semester or whatever. Um, I think it's ridiculous. Obviously, UCLA could rescind his degree. They could hold his transcripts. They could do all sorts of things. My guess is he doesn't care about that. He wants to go work for an AI company or something like that and
Yeah.
whatever. Um, but it is there is a dumbing of the country, of the world. Um, a lot of it due to AI, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I used to get I tutor and teach still and do a few other things. I used to get a lot of work from kids that needed help with homework and stuff like that. And a lot of that's gone. Kids just use AI.
I mean, look what's going on even with like images and movies and like art and it's like bullshit.
Well,
Like I think like what was it like Heavy Metal came back, the magazine Heavy Metal, which
yeah,
is
yeah,
like it's Illustrator based magazine. I don't know. There was always something not kosher about the new people who brought it back or something.
yeah,
And they posted something of this artist, and people were like, "This dude is using AI." It's
yeah,
and there were people like showing like this is AI. It was just too slick, too glossy. There's like a weird sheen on
yeah,
AI,
yeah,
and I don't know. They got like really defensive about it. But the point being is just that like you're just gonna see it more and more as it
yeah,
like you're gonna see companies try to use it. I'll tell you this: if I find out your movie or whatever's made with AI, I'm not using
Yeah,
it. I'm not
right.
buying it. Like I'll watch it on like if I'm paying for something
Well,
Netflix, but like if I want to see it, but I'm
I
not
don't
gonna.
have a problem
I
with
refuse
like,
to go see it in the theater. Fuck that.
yeah. I mean, in my head, there's a difference between like AI and using AI. Like if I don't know, I don't want to get
I
into all
understand what you're
that.
saying. It's like a special effect or something. It's like how CGI gets. Like
Yes,
if you're
like
using AI as like a something to for whatever, but if you're making the whole movie with AI,
right.
that
Yeah,
guy
I'm
gets
not interested in that.
no, no, that's gonna be
Um,
garbage, and I'm not gonna pay for it.
well,
Yeah,
you see it now, like the Trump administration just put out this huge like paper, and most of it was written by AI, and a lot of the citations were in like made up, and it was just like embarrassing. And that's they're probably used to doing that because the people they hired are used to doing that, you
you know
know?
what? It's the Willy Wonka experience of presidencies.
Yeah, yeah. The
No,
unknown.
because they use like the unknown.
That's who they're
That
gonna
was
get
made
to
with
replace
AI. Yeah, I
Tulsi
love that.
Gabbard.
That unknown was just a what was it called? Like it didn't give the name the unknown. It just had no. It was like
Right.
what did it mean? It's like a unknown variable or something.
Yeah. It's like,
It's so funny. It's like that's what
well,
the unknown really is. It's just like the computer being dumb or something.
yeah.
I always like the idea though that the through using AI, it opened like a portal or whatever to like a hell dimension, and the unknown came out from that.
Yeah.
It's like, eh. I just love that it was just some like little girl under that, like
Yeah.
she was like
Yeah, it's
a
a cute kid.
15-year-old
Yeah.
teenager or something. She's like, I'm having fun. uh, yeah, but yeah, the Trump administration is the definitely the Willy Wonka experience of
Yeah.
the sad
Well,
is and everything.
it is. It is. I don't know. I don't know where all of this leaves us. I know that the AI thing is like a big um problem. I mean, obviously, I still work a lot with academics and everything. I see a lot of students using it. It's real obvious when they're using it.
Yeah,
I think the scariest, well, not the scariest, but like the weirdest part to me is that like the people that are cheating using AI are inexplicably getting worse at cheating with AI.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's becoming more and more obvious, and their papers are becoming more and more abstract. I do a lot of work with AI just in my own personal capacity, and it took me a long time to figure out how it worked and how it remembers things and what it remembers versus what it doesn't remember. And I think there's a lot of smart people are using AI poorly. I think they don't know how to use it, and they're cranking out garbage with it. So we'll see.
Well, that's another. I mean, again, if you're gonna say like AI is a tool, this is like similar to when like, even though I don't agree with that, but it's similar to like when typesetting started getting phased out.
Yes, yeah,
Computer programs, but there were people who didn't know what it looked like, and there was a lot of shitty looking layouts,
right.
like years. An example of that is like people thinking like, oh, I could just do like Quark and put all my text in there, and they would do no kerning, no leading. They would be spelling errors, weird spacings.
Yep.
It was like, oh, I did it. It was so easy. And it's like you have no eye for anything. You
Yeah.
clearly
I see
spelled.
that I see that a lot. I'm in a lot of
So it
industry
makes sense
groups.
that with AI, it's like, oh, I just typed in the prompt and I got the thing that came out. It's like, yeah, but maybe you should like, I don't know, type the prompt again and try to get the actual thing you want. I
Yeah, a
don't know.
lot of these people don't even know how to ask a question correctly.
Yeah.
That's in the AI, it's a lot of it. It's like when you ask a genie to make you a ham sandwich, and the next thing you know, you got two olives for eyes and shit.
Maybe it's a problem that'll take care of itself. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
No,
But
I just say it's like everybody wants an easy way out. I'm sick of when I
yeah,
see a band use AI and their images. Like, okay, I'm never gonna see your band live. Fuck you.
right.
You didn't pay an artist. Like, you can't find an artist to do this for like
Tears
$200.
for Fears did that with their last album. A lot of it was
What?
AI. Tears for Fears, that band Tears for Fears.
They used AI
Yeah,
in like what
on
natural.
their album cover. Their album cover was AI generated.
I gotta look at
Uh,
that. Like, really, you
um,
can afford a fuck. And again, it could be the fucking record label, not them, but they still. I feel like they would still have to be able to sign off.
you would think, what was it? Tears for Fears, AI. Yeah, their Tears for Fears addresses use of AI for their new album cover. That was the headline. And it's clear. Let me take it back. It's not clearly AI, but if you look at
No,
it,
it is though. There's like a weird sheen. It's just like
yeah.
these weird images of like it just looks odd. I don't know.
I mean, if you told me someone made that, I wouldn't doubt it. But like, you're right. It does look AI, and it's
Yeah.
just so pointless. Like, why?
Can pay somebody
Yeah, why? I mean, like,
get scammed? Like, you know what I mean? Hired someone
yeah,
on Fiverr and they're like, okay, type in a prompt, give it to
yeah,
them 2 days from now, so they think you actually did work, and then
right. Yeah. Oh well. Oh well. All right.
yeah. Well, here we are.
Here we are.
Everything's going great.
Everything's great.
Coming up, Millhouse.
Everything's coming up, Millhouse.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Well, you know what? On that note, I'm Rob Israel.
I'm Joseph K.
You still going on about
That.
Thank you for listening to You Still Going On About That. Please like, comment, share, and if you haven't done already, please follow us on Instagram, YSGOAT, Facebook, YSGOAT, and Twitter, YSGOAT. Thank you, and have a great day.